All right, Orlando, why the decision to focus more on that president role here?
Well, I think sometimes it's, at the end of every season, you're constantly evaluating, and that's not just players, that's the whole organization. And, when you're tasked with more, you got to look at everything, and you look at what you have in-house, and you look at what you can acquire outside, and just how can you get better. That's the bottom line. We're always striving to be innovative, creative. We're trying to be better in all facets, and always trying to use people's skill sets to the best you can. And so this is kind of how we arrived at this decision.
And what do you think Ed can bring to that general manager role here?
Well, I know what Ed can bring. I think when it comes to Ed, it becomes very apparent. I've got a chance to work side by side with him from the inside out. And I think that's what people don't see. It became very apparent to me why he's been entrusted to run two different organizations. Tangibly from the outside, it speaks for itself. What I really appreciate about Ed is he's done it from the quote unquote the bottom, and he's been a scout, he's been an interim GM, in a co-GM fashion. Obviously, he's made big decisions, he's run drafts, he's run day-to-day operations, and he just has that experience. And I think I should also say that I feel like we have three GMs in house. When you make a move like this, you have to appoint somebody. And so, I'd be remiss if I didn't speak about Spencer Zimmerman and Drew Almain, who the timing just isn't their time. It's not about whether they can do the job or not. So when you mix Ed, and obviously he has championship pedigree, both as a player and as a general manager. He also spent time next to the all-time winningest coach in Wally Wano. And then really it was what solidifies it for me is just the inside out, the stuff people don't see. And so for that, that's how I know Ed can do the job, not what I think.
You mentioned Spencer and Drew there. Has their role changed at all?
Yeah, we're filling out our whole staff, and so they're definitely, they're going to be extremely valuable pieces. The structure internally will be definitely different, and so, they're valuable pieces to this organization. We just decided to make the structure just a little bit different.
Obviously, this is an organizational change, from the top, but you are president of football ops, so you obviously had to say.
Yeah.
Was it a difficult decision for you to kind of take that 20,000 feet view on what the last few years, the dual role that you had? Was that difficult realization for you?
It really, to be honest with you, it really wasn't, and it's really because of the people that I'm surrounded by. Like, you don't make a move like this if you're not really sure the direction you want to go, if you don't have a clear vision of what it is that you want to get done. So check with me a year from now, and when we're having this, and I'll better be able to. I mean, I got to this situation from coaching. Let's say what it is. And so I've gotten to take a look from the other side of the desk, if you will, here in the recent history. But as we move forward, I'm excited. Like this, ultimately it's a different challenge. And, it's about driving results and delivering success on a consistent basis the same way we did on the field. And that's what I'm looking forward to. It's a new team of sorts for me. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about getting the best version of everybody from the personnel all the way down, and really looking forward to it, to be honest with you, Louis.
You hinted at this being a collective decision. Can you give us a sense of who was involved in making this decision, and was people like Bob Young and Scott Mitchell and the ownership group, did they have a big hand in this?
Well, the bottom line is that, I am extremely in favor of this decision, right? At the end of the day, I was hired to be the head football coach, and I had some other, titles, but it also comes a lot of titles are one thing, and then there's the work that you have to do. And I don't desire to be average at anything. I want to be the best at what I do and give the best. And so, yeah, you don't make a decision like this without ownership being involved, right? So there was a collective thing. I had to present a clear plan. There was lots of discussion as far as who we were putting in place. And so once things like that were satisfied, then we were able to go ahead and move forward and make decisions. So this was definitely a collective decision.
We all know you're an ultra competitive guy. Is it a little bittersweet not winning a Grey Cup as a head coach?
Yeah, it was bittersweet not winning one as a defensive coordinator. Like, if you know me at all from the inside out and you work with me daily, I don't have to, knock over Gatorade and kick over benches to prove competitiveness. I don't like losing like anybody else. Unfortunately, that's part of this business, and it's really how you manage those. And can you have sustainable success, whatever success means? Can you achieve consistently, meaning are you in a position to win a championship every year? So, yeah, I'm definitely disappointed that we weren't able to deliver my time here in Hamilton. But that's not going to detract for what we have accomplished and where we're at and the foundation that's laid moving forward for everybody to be the best version of themselves.
Oh, congratulations on what I think is a great coaching career so far.
Thank you.
And I'll use that so far.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I have the structure right here as it exists.
Sure.
The line diagram. Coach reports to Ed. Ed reports to you. You report to Mitchell and the ownership group. Is that the correct?
I would say we internally we have there might be a little zig and a zag in there, but if you were looking at a flow chart, that's how it would go.
Okay, so the other part is you always seem to feel that coaching was the closest thing to playing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me, sort of, maybe expand a little bit more on do you want to coach again? Could there be a point where you come back if, let's say, the next coach only has a 3-year
Well, I'm never going to
contract?
say I'll never coach again, but if that was in me right now, I wouldn't be up here, in this exact time or in this situation. What I can say to you, Steve, is that I've never backed down from challenges. I was very comfortable as a DB coach. We won a Grey Cup. I was very, I can even go back to as a player. I'm very comfortable at corner, was an all-pro, led the league in picks. They moved me to halfback. I accepted the challenge. I go to Toronto. They want to make me a free safety. I accept the challenge. I'm a DB coach, very comfortable. We win a Grey Cup, go to be a coordinator, leave, go to Fresno State, come back to an assistant head coaching role, absorb that role, become a head coach. We do great things here. Let's go. This is another challenge. And so I'm just excited to add value. So I'm never going to say I'll never return to the field. It's not a focus of mine. If it was, again, I wouldn't be up here right now in this situation.
Thanks. I think
That's real
that's
quick.
good.
You just touched on you mentioned free safety. Kind of pinged my mind there on
Yeah.
Stavros Katsantonis.
Yeah.
What it meant to kind of lock him up as one of your first moves this offseason and what you're expecting of him in this new deal.
Yeah, when you draft a guy and he survives that first contract, and not just survives, like performs, in any role that's given. It's kind of a nice little segue that, he's a special teamer, worked his way on the field, and to the point where we didn't take him off the field. And so it was his time, and he could have waited till free agency. He would have been well within, his circle of trust, I'm sure, maybe encouraged that. But the fact that he wanted to be back in Hamilton and we wanted him back, it had to make sense for both sides. I think, you can kind of see, you can kind of hear his excitement. We're equally excited, and so that's a nice piece.
I just thought of one more thing here. Ed has to right away deal with your own free agents and very soon
Yep.
to others, and people start making their mind up based on
Yeah.
what's here. Is
Right.
that why it was important to get things done? Saskatchewan felt that way in getting their coach together. Is that what you as an organization, you as a person feel?
Yeah, I think the first thing was to establish behind the scenes. This has been in the works, and now it's make it public. Let's get this stuff behind us. When right after this, we're upstairs. There's things and there's wheels in motion. So it was very important to establish the structure, understand how it was going to work, and get that rolling. So that's why the head coaching process will be expedited. Working behind the scenes a little bit in that area. And so I don't foresee that taking long at all.